Hello and welcome to InfoHub. Here is your Thursday, June 7 newscast. ICT being incorporated in businesses countrywide as the government moves to modernize Guyana's economy. NDIA acquires amphibious excavator. New wharf for Timeri. Haze entrepreneurs receive equipment to boost operations. And women's shelter and community centers for Linden courtesy of the New Horizons. We begin with news that the Ministry of Public Telecommunications is moving towards incorporating the use of information and communication technology in every aspect of business in Guyana. More in this Stacey Carmichael report.
Government is moving towards a digital economy which will ultimately lead to an ease in doing business. This is according to Minister of Public Telecommunications, Catherine Hughes, who was addressing a forum on exponential technologies hosted at the Marriott Hotel.
The more we include ICT in the way we transact our businesses, the way we service our communities and our citizens, the better and the faster we are going to be able to transform Guyana.
Minister Hughes reiterated the administration's commitment of making more than 100 government services accessible online. These services include business registration, applications for driver's license and passports, and much more.
At the end of the day, we are moving towards a 20th century government. And that government is heavily based on using technology and, most importantly, allowing our citizens to sit in their comfort of their home or their office and to be able to connect.
Only last Friday, the minister declared open 2 ICT hubs in Blairmont, Region 5, and Blackbush Polder, Region 6, bringing the total to 119 hubs across Guyana. She noted that over 150 schools have so far been connected to the internet, with a primary school connectivity project ongoing. Heads of government agencies and senior officials responsible for the implementation of the government's eGov and technology initiatives were introduced to the concept of exponential technologies. This involves the use of 3D printing, drones, robotics, artificial intelligence, and more. For InfoHub, Stacey Carmichael.
In this report, we hear that the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority has acquired an almost $60 million amphibious excavator. Chief Executive Officer Frederick Flats explains.
And I will be in the East Demerara Water Conservancy, and we're getting that under the Haze Program.
Flats said the excavator will arrive and be put into commission by July.
Within another 2 months, be getting I believe is the first amphibious excavator in Guyana. That excavator will be one that can work on land and can work in water.
The newly acquired excavator forms part of the East Demerara Water Conservancy Rehabilitation Project. Phase 2 was funded by the Japanese government's International Cooperation Agency and executed by the Ministry of Agriculture in collaboration with NDIA. For InfoHub, Stefan Gabriel.
Farmers along the Demerara River will soon have a new wharf. Details in this report.
Chairperson of the Regional Democratic Council for Demerara Mahaica, Genevieve Allen, said that the new structure will replace the dilapidated wharf.
We are constructing a new timber wharf at the Timeri docks. Now, this timber wharf will facilitate the farmers from up the Demerara River.
Allen added that the facility will aid commercial activities and improve livelihoods. She said other communities' revetments will be constructed at key points along the Demerara River.
They will have improved facilities for them to come and apply their trade within the region and even further afield. There's also going to be timber revetments at Golden Grove on the East Coast, at Huntley Pump Station at Cane Grove on the East Coast, and at Good Success, Craig on the east bank of Demerara.
The almost $14 million wharf forms part of the region's approved capital works for the current financial year. Alexis Rodney for InfoHub.
The future of Guyana has never looked better. our nation is on the cusp of a development program like never seen before. While Guyana is now emerging as an energy giant through the discovery of massive reserves of oil and natural gas, it is your government's intention that the huge benefits emerging from this will go where it matters most, to you, the people of this beloved country. There is a surge of confidence in the way Guyana is governed once again, and the level of investor interest is unprecedented. Guyana is poised to become the breadbasket of the region, and the pace at which this nation will grow through prudent fiscal management will be nothing short of impressive. But more than anything else will be the way every Guyanese, regardless of color, class, or creed, becomes a part of this historic period of national transformation, sharing in the wealth and well-being of it all as one Guyana.
Thanks for staying with us. We learned that Regional Chairperson of Region 4, Genevieve Allen, is encouraging residents to become part of the Rural Agricultural Infrastructure Development Program. Zenil Williams reports.
The Rural Agriculture Infrastructure Development Program that is established at 3 communities in our region, at Buxton, at Triumph, and at Mocha. I want to urge all the members of the communities to come out and join the cooperatives that have been established to push the program.
Allen explained the agricultural program aims to resuscitate village economies and caters for residents of the identified communities.
The program is expected to benefit all the members of the community, of these communities. If you are not on board, if you have not joined the program, I will urge all of you to join the programs to benefit your communities.
The Rural Agricultural Infrastructure Development Program is funded by a combination of grants and loans from the Caribbean Development Bank through the Ministry of Finance and Agriculture Sector Development Unit of the Ministry of Agriculture. It seeks to provide assistance to previously neglected communities to utilize farming lands productively.
Young hinterland entrepreneurs are now better equipped to operate their businesses. Stacy joins us again.
The youths are part of a batch who recently completed skills training through the Haze Program. The initiative trained close to 4,000 hinterland youths, many of whom are now their own bosses. The equipment, which included catering kits, sewing machines, gas stoves, computers and printers, and farming, mechanic and plumbing tools, were handed over by Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, Sidney Alicock.
Receiving these items is very nice, helpful to the community, and beneficial for other members, villagers in the community.
I feel happy because we're getting the tools to do the work, and the group will enjoy it. So we could say thanks to the government.
The youths hail from Pittsburgh, Ornock, Arakaka, Waramuri and other communities. Minister Alicock reminded that the program was created to prepare hinterland youths to take up leadership positions within their communities.
And this is one way of allowing our young people to be rounded, to get in readiness for when contracts, when opportunities come, you would be in a position, like in the slips, ready to take on that responsibility.
Earlier this year, President David Granger established the Guyana Youth Service, GYS. The body will be responsible for consolidating all the youth programs, including Haze, to offer a standard education and training curriculum for young people countrywide. For InfoHub, Stacey Carmichael.
Training is underway to improve mental health facilities at the community level. Tiffany Rodius tells us more.
Senior psychologist Baloganu Sunbi says decentralization of mental health services makes sense as it is a step in the right direction.
We recognize that to really stem the scourge of mental illnesses here in Guyana, particularly in terms of suicide, one has to go to the community rather than wait for the community to come to us. It not only makes sense in terms of access to service and delivery of that service, but it makes sense also because a lot of times people don't come to the hospital or the health center for treatment.
About 120 medical professionals countrywide have been trained in mental health's MH-GAP program, which aims to provide non-specialized doctors with the requisite skills and knowledge to better screen patients and provide diagnostic assessment for persons living with mental health illnesses. There is also continued training of community leaders in the Problem Management Plus program.
Going to the community also has fiscal reasons. It is less burdensome to our budget to go to the community and to perform preventative health care rather than wait for persons to come after having a challenge and then you have to perform curative health care.
Community-based mental health comes on the heels of a vision shared by Minister of Public Health, Walter Lawrence. This vision details that mental health patients should have access to outpatient services rather than seeking treatment at a main psychiatric facility. For InfoHub, Tiffany Rogers.
Starting in January next year, U.S. Army civil engineers will begin building a women's shelter and 2 community centers in Linden under its exercise New Horizon 2019 from January to August 2019. Here is Stefan Gabriel with our final report.
The women's shelter will be for those women who have suffered some form of abuse and need help. The community centers will offer much-needed spaces for youth to gather to conduct activities and develop themselves outside of school. Mayor of Linden, Winika Arundel, explained.
The New Horizon project is twofold, It is health and it is engineering. This year, they have chosen Linden to carry out their project, and we are grateful for this project. It will see they begin the building of a women's home and a training center for those women who are who have been abused or so forth in the society. And it's going to also see the building of 2 community centers.
The centers will be constructed in Amelia's Ward and Blueberry Hill. The medical professionals will also conduct outreaches in the town.
So the health aspect, they're going to be here, and this is going to be between June, July, August of next year, where they're going to come and spend 1 week in the hospital. They're going to be working, doing surgeries, different types of surgeries, and also they're putting down what is called a medvac project. They're going to be stationed, hopefully, at Egbert Benjamin for 2 weeks, and they're going to be offering all the services necessary.
A planning session held in Arizona in May allowed for the Guyana delegation's input, which saw the designing of the space and securing of the land for the projects. There will also be a sports camp for students from grades 6 to 9 and distribution of school supplies. New Horizons is an annual training exercise for U.S. military civil engineers and medical professionals that prepares participants to deploy, conduct joint operations with partner nations, and redeploy back to the United States. Projects were undertaken in Guyana in 2004 and 2009, conducting construction of clinics and schools and medical outreaches. Stefan Gabriel for InfoHub.
Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.
The future of Guyana has never looked better. Our nation is on the cusp of a development program like never seen before. While Guyana is now emerging as an energy giant through the discovery of massive reserves of oil and natural gas, it is your government's intention that the huge benefits emerging from this will go where it matters most, to you, the people of this beloved country. There is a surge of confidence in the way Guyana is governed once again, and the level of investor interest is unprecedented. Guyana is poised to become the breadbasket of the region, and the pace at which this nation will grow through prudent fiscal management will be nothing short of impressive. But more than anything else will be the way every Guyanese, regardless of color, class, or creed, becomes a part of this historic period of national transformation, sharing in the wealth and well-being of it all as one Guyana.